welcome to the Jazz and Friends podcast. This is episode number 37. Today we have three special guests, Cal, Will, and Wallace. How's it going, lads?
Good.
Yeah, not too
pretty
bad,
good.
not too bad. Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah, first week back. I'm sure we're all pretty tired. Pretty cooked as well, but should be some fun chats. The main topics we'll discuss today will be obviously sports. We've got two North supporters and two Doggy supporters. Going to camp for the first time in 2 years because it was pretty interesting actually. Pretty interesting, and some funny stories. So let's get started, guys. So a hypothetical question changes every week. How long would your ideal camp go for? We'll start off with Will. How long, mate?
I think maybe maybe 2 weeks, maybe a week or two. It's a good time to get used to the place where you're going.
Fair enough.
I'd say 2 weeks.
What about you, Cal?
Yeah, I'd say 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Not too long, but not too short.
Yep. And Wallace, 2 weeks as well?
I guess it kind of depends on which type of camp or how good the camp is you're going to. If it was like our camp, maybe closer to a week. I think 2 weeks is probably stretching it out, especially when you have to share like facilities with everyone and stuff. I mean, I don't really mind. I once went on a 5-day long camp without showering. I just kind of swam in the river every day that was next to our campsite. But yeah, I think I think 2 weeks might be drawing it out personally, but definitely for this camp, I could have gone on an extra 5 or 6 days, I reckon.
Yeah, no, that's really good. Yeah, our camp probably I reckon 1 week max. And after that would be trouble.
Yeah.
Alrighty, boys. We'll move on to music or podcast on the podcast. And everyone has a different taste. So, boys, do you want to just name drop a few artists or songs you listen to, or podcasts even? Let's start off with Wallace this time.
I'm very much hip hop oriented, so a lot of rap stuff in there. I listen to some Australian artists like Hilltop Hoods. They're pretty generic.
Yeah, Martin.
Triple One, Listen Esso, some of those type of people, and then some more American stuff. Quite a bit of Eminem, some older stuff, a bit of Dre and some Tupac sometimes, and recently. I think I've hopped on the bandwagon, like a lot of people, because DMX has died recently, so I've been listening to a bit more of his stuff.
Oh, yeah. Rip to him. Cal, moving on to you, mate.
Yeah, and I just made like AC/DC, Juice WRLD, just random songs, anything that's on, really.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, obviously we saw each other's playlists. Pretty broad. And yeah, well, no, we'll go with Will now.
Yeah, I'm sort of mixed between you guys. AC/DC, and there's DMX, Eminem and stuff, and then it's just a mix. Like it's just whatever's on. Like Cal, yeah.
Yeah, cool. No, it's good to have a variety of like musics, and artists we listen to because yeah, it's good to connect because like one person could like rock and could understand how they like it as well. And yeah, moving on to so three of you's in year 10 and I'm in year 11. Got like a few years left of high school. Basically, what are your career aspirations? We'll start off with Will this time. What do you want to do after?
I think I've been looking at careers in like space exploration and space commerce, as in like space tourism and stuff. It sounds really cool to me. It's it's a massive space to explore. So
yeah, cool. Are you gonna get off to Mars one day or something?
maybe. Yeah, that's the goal.
That's a goal. Yeah, I could picture you being the first person on Mars, hopefully in like 2024. Maybe that's a drag, but
cool.
Yeah, down the line, mate. Yeah, we'll see how we go.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah. What about yourself, Cal?
Probably sports analysis or something like that.
Oh yeah, cool.
Something involving sport.
Would you say
Yeah,
more
mine-
to like the statistician end, or more like commentary journalism? Or...
Statistician. Help
Statistician.
North get a couple wins on the board.
Fair enough, mate. Yeah. You can be the statistician. I'll be the journalist or whatever. No, that's
easy.
interesting. Yeah. I wanted to be a statistician back in the day, but like, I think my maths has plummeted a fair bit, and you and Will are pretty good with the maths, so I reckon down the line, there's a job for a statistician out there for you.
Yeah.
And Lemon Boy Wallace, what about yourself, mate? What do you want to do in the future?
I honestly don't know. My grandpa's a surgeon, so he's kind of always been quite a prominent figure in my life. So I guess maybe something to do with kind of the medical side of the medical industry. Well, I'm really not sure. Sometimes I wonder if I'll just be able to kind of take all the kind of organ and blood stuff that's everywhere in that kind of those kinds of jobs. And so I'm not sure. Maybe sometimes I think about architecture and stuff, but I'm really not sure.
Yeah, cool. I was just eating lemons with nothing, man. Also, we'll talk about camp now. Obviously, we're part of the Doggies youth leadership project for this year, but also the camp which kicked off last week during the school holidays. That was pretty good, I reckon. One of the better camps I went on in my career. Let's talk about, like, it didn't kind of feel like a leadership type style. You boys want to explain it a bit more?
Nah, yeah, it was. Yeah, it didn't feel like you were sort of wasn't on really camp. It was sort of just people hanging out all together and getting, cabins. It was sort of like a lot calmer than a school camp.
No, yeah, that's true. Yeah, we got told off at 1 a.m, which we'll talk about later.
That's right, yeah.
That was a funny shit, man.
That felt a bit like a school camp, that bit.
Yeah, no, that bit felt like a school camp. It's like, boys, it's 1 a.m. Oh.
He sounded more disappointed. He was like, he wanted to just go to bed, but you guys are all so loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, meanwhile, I was asleep by 11:30 and just leaving.
Yeah.
I don't know how you can sleep through us talking, mate. I could not do that, but yeah, nah.
I don't know. I was just tired, and like I was actually trying to stay awake because I felt uncomfortable lying on one side facing you guys, so I faced away, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna fall asleep here." And then I tried to stay awake, and that's the last thing I remember.
Nah, good stuff, man. We'll talk more about the leadership stuff later, but let's move on to AFL. As I said earlier, 2 Doggy supporters and 2 North supporters. We'll start off with Will and Wallace. Obviously, the Doggies are 5-0 at the moment. How would you describe the feeling right now at the Doggies?
It's been a long time since we've been on top. It's been a long time. You can't really explain it. Like it's not going to happen. I'm sure we're not going to finish first. There'll surely be stronger teams we're probably going to, lose to. But for now, the feeling, you can't top it. It's
yeah, you got to make the most of it. It's the first time we've been on top since 1946, 75 years exactly.
Yeah.
After the 5th round. No, sorry, not on top. 5-0.
5-0, yeah.
5-0 for the first time since 1946.
You got to celebrate that. Yeah.
That's pretty good. Yeah, exactly. You got to enjoy it, especially if it doesn't last. So I think a good summary for all the Doggies fans at the moment is just cautiously confident.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. I remember when I was in grade 6, Cal would have been grade 5. North Melbourne went 9-0, and I was probably the opposite. I was like too confident. And after that, the losses just went like, shocking. And yeah, now we'll talk about North Melbourne now. Cal, do you want to give us your thoughts on North? Probably the opposite of a scale on 5.
Absolute shambles. Absolute shambles. Back to the 9-0, I was like, we're making the grand final this year. I'm like, first draft pick already.
Yep. Oh, it's so sad, man. I was listening, or I didn't even want to watch the Geelong North game, and I had a look after the first quarter. We're up by like 10 points. I think I messaged Cal. We're like, oh, good quarter. Then after that, it kind of faded away. So yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty close to the third quarter, wasn't it?
Yeah. You guys sort of just left.
Yeah. I can give you some good insights into the game against the Dogs, though. That was a pretty nice game.
Highlight by highlight.
Yeah, no, we'll move on now.
Not like it's the 2016 grand final or anything. Calm down.
Yeah. It wasn't like that. It was more like a training drill, boys. Yeah. Yeah, end of that. We'll move on to the quote of a podcast, which is push yourself because no one else is going to do it for you. We'll start off with Cal. Is there a quote or something you live by, mate?
Not really. I'll probably just go off that. No one can really do anything for you. You just have to find your own motivation.
Oh, that's good stuff, mate. I think you said that last time you were on the podcast as well. So yeah, I think push yourself or whatever should be your motto. So yeah. What about you, Will? Any quotes?
You only live once. That's probably the one I've stuck by.
Yeah,
there's nothing.
True.
You've only got to do it once. You're probably gonna miss out on something and you're gonna regret it when you're older and you can't do much. You just be.
Yeah, I remember you were near the giant swing. I think you told someone that you only live once.
That's right. Yeah. I would have regretted it. I definitely would have regretted it if I didn't go all the way.
Yeah, that's true. Some kid was like two pools away from the top. No, that's like the dumbest shit. I
swear he'll probably regret that. He's gonna regret that. I'm telling you. He's gonna regret not going that extra 2 steps.
What about you, Wallace? Any quotes or mottos you live by, mate?
I feel like I kind of look into the kind of YOLO side of life differently to everyone. Like everyone's going, you only live once, so you got to do it all. And I'm on the other side, like, yeah, you only live once, so why would you risk your life when you're not going to get a second one?
Oh, good stuff,
make the most of your opportunities, but don't take those unnecessary risks.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, some people take too many unnecessary risks, which I don't know, could be costly, I guess. And yeah, we don't advise Captain Risky type behavior. If you guys remember that ad a few years ago, but
yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Been a long time.
Yeah, none of that.
Memories.
Yeah. Alrighty, we'll talk about the last book or movie you've read or seen. Start off with Wallace now. What's the last book or movie you've read or seen?
It's actually been a long time since I finished a book. And I can't remember the last time I finished a movie, but I have been watching a TV show recently that I just came across on Netflix when I was searching for anything really to watch, because choosing something to watch on Netflix is the hardest thing. Like, I just can't. So, have you guys seen Wolfblood before?
No.
It's kind of like a werewolf kind of movie or TV series, about people or these kids who are like our age, who are werewolves, something or other like that. And it's actually it's a small scale, but it's kind of a really kind of homey series and pretty delicate, like nothing too scary going on as far as I know werewolf movies go, but and stuff like that. But yeah, just one I really enjoyed, and when it ended I was kind of disappointed. So when you feel that, you enjoyed a series.
Good stuff. Might give it a squeeze. What about you, Cal?
I'd probably go TV shows too. The Office. I finished that recently. Yeah.
Oh, that's a really good series. How long is that? Like, how many seasons?
9 or 10. It's pretty long.
9 or 10. I've seen a few episodes, but need to give it a full watch. Give a few of the seasons.
It's pretty long.
Yeah, nah. Some episodes go for like 50 minutes, don't they?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah, nah, but it's really good.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah. All right, lastly, we'll...
Would have been the school book, would have been Of Mice and Men. It's a classic. It's
Is that the one you were talking about on the bus?
Pardon?
You were talking about that book on the bus, yeah?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, it was horrible. But
Yeah.
it was worth the marks.
I feel like more bad people than good people, or is it like the opposite?
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah,
it's sort of depicted as two good people, and then the rest of them are all mean people. So, yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. And what you said, I'd be one of the good people. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I remember that now. Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah, right. Good stuff. I wonder who would be the bad people. The bad people. Well, a few of the collywobbles.
Collywobbles.
Collywobbles. Oh man.
All the collywobbles, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah, those guys are. Yeah, we'll talk more about them later on. Speaking about it, the next segment was funny stories, the money segment. Yeah, we might as well kick things off with let's go, Cal. What's your funny story you want to share?
Probably. Oh, we were having the trivia night, which we obviously won. Too easy. And everyone's crowding around this. Oh, I got the 2 right here. Premiership Cup. And I look back and see everyone crowding around one table, and I'm like, what's happening? And you see a yell at the back of the room, ball! And I've gone, yep, watching the AFL. And then the people go and take their phone, and I'm like, no, you can't watch the footy here. And we're just like, oh, damn collywobbles.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And it made it even better considering Collingwood was getting thrashed.
Yeah, they got pummeled by like 30 points, and some other team copied our name as well. Like some Ararat team was like, that was bullshit.
That was disgusting.
Yeah, that's all right. We made sure everyone knew that we were the OG.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we won it as well. So that's all.
They finished last too. Like imagine.
Oh, did they?
Stealing someone else's name.
Well, yeah, they were doing well at the start, and we were doing pretty poorly, and then the whole table kind of just flipped.
Yeah, no, we knew our stuff. I remember Will got onto like some roll, like every single, I think, was it song? He just like, bang. I got
TV
it.
theme song.
Yeah.
The only one I knew was the Brooklyn 99 one.
Yeah, me and Cal just went crazy.
We just had to beat Will to that one.
Yeah. All right, we'll go with Wallace. Your funny story, mate. What were you going to say? Go for it.
I was just saying, it would be interesting to know if anyone in that room didn't know what the Brooklyn 99 theme was. Like, everyone just started going, oh, yeah, I know this. And there's just that one person who's like, wait, what is this?
I know, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it would be impossible to tell in a crowd, but it would kind of be funny to just know who doesn't know. Anyway, yeah.
Probably one of the collywobbles.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that the Collingwood theme song?
Oh, yeah, we love it when Collingwood.
We love it when Collingwood.
That was on the bus. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we'll go with Wallace. Your funny story, mate.
Anyway, yeah. So my funny story is about my history of head injuries. So I can laugh about it now, but yeah, they probably weren't too pleasant at the time. So I just kind of had have a bad streak. So the first one was when I was 2, and we were in Singapore Airport, and I was playing trains on the lines in the carpet in the airport, like walking up and down them and pretending I was a train, and then I tripped over and hit my head on the bottom of the floor, and then we missed our flight, and all my clothes were covered in blood and my whole head. And actually, in the middle of all of this, because you can't really feel head injuries too much. In the middle of all of this, I was just sitting in like with my blood running down my face from a pretty decent sized gash, and I mean, I don't remember this. This is what my mum's told me, and I'd recently, because I was just 2, learned how to use the toilet, and I was just sitting there screaming out, saying, "I weed myself." I was so disappointed that I had like let myself down. I didn't even care that like I'd hit my head. It just been the shock, I guess, and then I don't know. But yeah, but that's not even the end of it. Then eventually we got back to Australia. I had to spend a night in the hospital, but our insurance covered our flight and stuff, so we got the next flight through. And my parents were doing some kind of community class about something in a park somewhere, and I went up and patted this dog, and I still had my stitches in, and I must have been a bit too aggressive for the dog because it bit me in the face.
Oh my!
And yeah, so yeah, then I went off to hospital again, and I was just, this time, one of the it wasn't like a rip and tear bite, it was just like a little jab, so it didn't like pull my face off, it just like nipped it. But I had a tooth going right next to my nose, and it hit like an artery, and every time my heart beat, there would just be a spurt of blood coming out the side of my face. Yeah. Anyway, that's my second of 4. Then when I was like 6, we were having a party with family and friends in this house that I'm in right now, that I haven't lived in for a fair while. And yeah, I was running around the backyard, and I ran into my uncle, who was carrying a plate of chicken sandwiches, and shattered the plate with my head. And yeah, that's the third one. And then the most recent one was in Malaysia. We were climbing up the tallest mountain in Malaysia, which isn't much of a climb. It's more of just like a pretty heavy hike. But yeah, we were going up there, and on the way down, it had rained overnight, which meant we couldn't get to the summit to see the sunrise, which really, really sucked. But yeah, on the way down, I kind of slipped and fell and slid on my stomach down, and stopped when my head hit a rock. And now I have matching scars from the Singapore airport and Mount Kinabalu accident on like either side of my forehead.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
and that is my extended funny story.
Yeah, that is very interesting.
Sounds like a cartoon accident.
Yeah, it is stretched over like 15 years, but yeah.
That cartoon, that book, that makes so many errors. I remember. It's more a footy book, but I forgot what it's called. Something Max, like. You guys remember that footy book?
Oh yeah, my aunt and uncle got me. Isn't it Mad Max or something?
Yeah, Mad Max or yeah.
No, it's not Mad Max. Hang on. Oh.
Yeah.
Wait. Yeah, same.
Max Rumble, that's it. Max Rumble.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, I was going to say
Boys,
Mad
remember
Max.
Max
What
Rumble.
am I talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
First of all, Will, mate, what's your funny stories? You got any?
Oh, okay. It isn't as long as Wallace's one. It was at camp. It wasn't trivia. It was when we all were celebrating, and I've looked up at the scoreboard, and then I'm looking at the points, and then we've got, I don't remember, it was 14, 10, and then 24, something like that. And then I looked down, and there's the person who's supposed to come like second, the person who was in front the whole game, and I see they've got 0.5 points ahead of us the entire time. And then I realized they made some mistake with the scoring, but I didn't tell anybody. I can just sort of sit there I looked it up and they all the exact same points, but they had 0.5 on each of them. And it was, and yeah, they just didn't count the scores right, so he got the win.
Oh, really? They won by what? How much? Like a little bit, or?
It was 0.5 for each one. They had 1.5 points more than us.
Oh, wow.
They had 1.5 more points than us.
We didn't win any bonus points either.
Yeah, exactly.
Didn't the scoreboard say we won by like 2 points though?
Yeah, so we won by 2 points, but they had 1.5 more points than us, but they just didn't count them to the scores.
Oh yeah, and I was like, oh, keep your mouth shut.
Yeah. I was like about to go tell him, and I was like, oh no, I won't.
Yeah, no. Imagine getting stripped of our like winning bingo. That would have been.
Oh, it would have been.
Imagine getting stripped of our Premiership Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It would have been so bad.
Oh, that would have hurt, man. It's like what's his name? Oh, don't worry about it. Yeah. You got
getting stripped of his brown though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty tough, man. I would have given him the brown though. It doesn't matter. Like he still played a really good season.
Yeah, like our trivia season would have been worse though. Like getting our Bulldogs keep cup stripped off us, that would have been worse than.
That would have been so bad. We would have just so embarrassed the next morning. Would have just been like, oh, yeah, we won for a little bit, and then we didn't.
And we lost.
Yeah.
So we'll move on now. Talk us through. Sorry. The airport was so close. How did that feel, man? That was felt like a robbery, man.
A robbery. You didn't get caught though. They weren't catching us.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, no, it was interesting.
I don't know how no one picked up on that.
Yeah, honestly.
I didn't want to tell anybody. I looked at the scores and it was 0.5 every single over the 3 or 4 rounds. They had 0.5 more points than us every single round.
We're lucky the footy was on because half the room just went over to watch the footy.
Yeah, they were pretty didn't much care at the end.
Yeah, they didn't even look at the PowerPoint. Someone could straight away just went, look at the scores and we would have been gone.
It would have been done.
Yeah. Good stuff. Alrighty. What are your boys' thoughts on Will? Apparently he's on a 15-0 run with the girls. What are your thoughts?
I reckon he knows how to play the game.
It's all strategy and tactics.
There's just no words to describe it.
Yeah, no words. I think he'd play the game, or the game will play you or something.
Yeah, that's practically it. That's practically
Will treats it like he's playing Survivor.
Yeah.
He has better figures alone than us 3 combined.
Yeah. That's dirty. Oh, God. That is true, yeah.
He's
I remember
4 times the amount we have all combined.
It's an art, man. I'm telling you.
No, I remember literally the cabins. Will's love story went till about Wallace fell asleep, so a fair while, didn't it?
I feel like
long.
Probably
stories.
about like 45 minutes, but it felt like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
I could have gone more into detail, but I had to keep it short and straight.
There were so many twists and turns or whatever. Like I couldn't even believe. Yeah, no.
Oh yeah.
Felt like I was watching a movie.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's interesting. We'll move on to Wallace now. Let's talk me through. You said you run a little bit. I think I saw one of your shirts, like a marathon shirt. So you're going to talk us through a bit of your running. You follow Kipchoge and all that. So.
Yeah, I do a bit of running. I'm getting. I started running when I moved over to Malaysia, and Yeah, and then I just did some kind of casual running with my dad, and then did some running before school with the kind of school club. It was never really that serious. There were some pretty good kids there, but yeah, nothing too serious. But since I've got back, I don't think I'm quite up to where I was at my best. I used to run a fair bit, but
Yeah.
I'm running more than I ever have now because I'm actually at a club here, and
Oh yeah.
yeah, but it's still because I've been, everyone's been in lockdowns and stuff, and especially when you're traveling from country to country and organizing stuff, it's been a bit hard to always get in that exercise. But yeah, I'm getting back up there, and hopefully I'll be much better by the time. I don't know if there is a time, but yeah, I've always enjoyed my running, and I'm built for long distance running. So yeah.
It's really good, mate. What club do you run for?
I don't. I have a kind of training club, but they don't compete as a club. It's this woman. We train down at Newport Track.
Oh
down
yeah.
near
Cool,
Williamstown. Yeah. So yeah, I run there on Tuesdays and Thursdays after school. And the woman who coaches us, her son is an Olympic athlete in the 800 meters for Australia. So yeah.
Who's that?
Luke Matthews.
Oh, Luke Matthews. Yeah, I've heard of him. Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, so she knows how you do it, knows what to do, and has pretty high expectations of us, and it's pretty good all around.
Yeah, and have you run a marathon with your the shirt you were wearing, or was it?
Oh no, it was a marathon, but that was the longest event in it. It's like the name of it, but within that marathon, they had different events. The longest distance I've ran is like about 15, I think, maybe a bit less. And the longest distance I've raced is 10. So, yeah. I've definitely haven't run a marathon.
Yeah, probably build up towards it in a few years or a few months, but
maybe. Yeah.
Alrighty, we'll move on to quick hands now, boys. 5 quick questions. Doesn't matter who goes for it, but just say yes or no. Pineapple and pizza, yes or no?
No.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
interesting.
Controversial.
Yeah, a few of you boys don't like sweet and savoury, and I guess Will does. I'd say yes as well. I don't mind.
I love sweet and savoury, but pineapple on pizza is just sinful.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I just don't get it. Why try to fix something that isn't broken? Like,
that's actually a really good kind of explanation for the whole situation, I think, Cal.
Thank you.
Yeah, no.
Get it.
Interesting. Alrighty. What about English or maths, boys?
Maths.
English. Thank you.
I'm probably better at maths, but English is just so much more relaxing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, we're more English. And Cal's a maths nerd. So. Fair enough.
It was close, but like, I'm not happy with English lately.
Just not happy.
Teach us anything. No,
that's good. Alrighty, next one is favorite footy player.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I should have come prepared for this one.
Sorry.
Have to be a current footy player.
Mine's Jai Simpkin.
Oh.
I don't mind Jason Johannesson down the back. He wasn't terrific last year, but he's been better this year since he's come back in. And, I guess, I don't know. I don't like to the big players because everyone else does. But I think he's relatively common as a favourite player, especially because of his Norm Smith.
I think I'll go with McRae. Honestly, just McRae gets tons of disposals, gets the job done.
That's true.
I'd probably say LDU.
LDU.
That is a gun. It's gonna be one of the best.
So you've switched players. Me and you've switched players since last year. I think last year your favourite player was Cunners. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Bit old now, I reckon.
does some stupid things.
Yeah, he's high
Didn't he
fend
like
off.
did he hand off to his teammate? Didn't
Yeah,
he like
he-
put his hand up in front of
He
his
did that
teammate?
to got his name, but yeah. No. It's the dumbest thing anyone could do. Why would you fend off your own teammate? Like,
Like, he got tackled by another player and decided to fend off his own teammate instead of fending off the actual
So
tackler.
strange.
All right, the next one is favorite place to visit in Melbourne.
CBD.
CBD. Any specific
Yeah.
in the split CBD or?
Nah, just like eating food, and they have lots of food there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I like the kind of triangle between Flinders Street and Fed Square, and then out to Richmond and then the Botanical Gardens. That's really nice to like walk along the Yarra, and there's lots of relatively decent and relatively cheap food along there as well.
Yeah, no, for sure. If you want to get just like solid, cheap takeaway food around there's like my best option, I reckon.
Yeah.
And the
And
reason
last
Will
one-
likes the CBDs because
Oh,
he
yeah.
terrorizes people around there. He's a
Yeah,
bird
no,
whisperer.
hopefully not.
Oh yeah. Funny story that. I got a story. All right, one story. One more story. I got a story to tell you. We were in
Go for it.
this was last year. We had a city experience sort of thing at our school, and then I had my braces on. Just put my braces on, so I couldn't eat much. And then so I bought chips. I tried to have it. I couldn't eat it. So I've thrown chips out to the seagulls, and then so my friend and Cal, they're all scared of seagulls, and I've thrown them all, and then I've got one left, and I've just held it up, and all the seagulls have come screaming at us. Have come absolutely screaming at us, and
Oh, so you mean they ignored you? They came screaming at me.
Yeah, and I just started laughing. I moved my hand towards them, and I've just started absolutely laughing my absolute head off. And then they've just... It was so funny.
Then you guys jumped behind me, and I was just left smacking seagulls away
I was
because you
laughing
just thrown
so
chips.
hard. Laughing so hard.
Alrighty.
And then you terrorized me so bad, I nearly left my jacket with my phone in it.
Yeah, my aunt has a massive fear of like birds and pigeons especially, and she and my dad, who's of course her brother, they were traveling through Italy, I think, or somewhere, or France, and they bought some bird seed for like one of those squares, famous squares where all the pigeons are, and my dad like threw a bag of bird seed all over my aunt, and like every pigeon within like a 50-meter radius came and just flocked all over her.
Oh no.
That's some Home Alone stuff right there.
Oh yeah, I remember that scene. Oh yeah.
An absolute betrayal.
Yeah, well, that's what siblings do, yeah.
That is quite true, yeah. 100% guaranteed. Happens all the time. Alright, last quick answer question is common phrases used. I don't know about me, but my common phrase I use is probably today I said fair enough quite a fair bit, so probably fair enough is the thing I'd say, and you boys probably recognise that from Cam. Always say fair enough. Yep.
Mine's probably like, she'll be right.
She'll be right.
She'll be right.
Oh yeah, I remember that from camp. Yeah.
She'll be right.
Well, I do say a fair of that's what she said.
Oh,
I do my fair share of those.
And your mom.
Oh yes, that too. Yeah, they're old but they're good. They still work.
I have to put up with this every day at school.
I reckon Cal's auto correct or auto suggest thing on his phone has got a lot of giraffe on it at the moment.
Should I explain?
Yeah, go for it.
So basically, this one kid wouldn't stop talking at all. So I've gone, you know what? Let's try to make him stop talking. See if we can, So I argued for about half an hour actually probably 45 minutes about why giraffes aren't real. It ended up as giraffes equal fridges, and that means your fridge is Scott Morrison.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Last night.
It's hard to explain the logic behind it to listeners.
Well, I'll give you a few points. Have you ever seen a giraffe lay down properly? No. What's the weird antennas on their heads for?
That is true, yeah.
So,
No, I remember last night I was finished my shift. I had a look at what the chat was going on, and Cal was like, "Oh, should I have some fun?" And we were like, "Yeah, go for it, mate." And yeah, you certainly had some fun, and yeah, actually got left on scene, which was a first. Actually, I can't believe that.
oh, I was very proud of myself. My greatest achievement so far of 2021. Oh,
That is true.
took me a while though. 40 minutes talking about why giraffes are myth.
Was
to
it
get
worth
them to
it?
stop talking.
I reckon it
Yes,
was worth it. Yeah.
110% worth it. What else would I have been doing? Homework.
Yeah, exactly. I totally didn't have a math test today that I really wanted to review for.
Good stuff. There was one more thing I remembered from the camp we went on. It was the Gaga Pit, because we spent a fair bit of time there towards the end.
Yeah.
No, that was interesting as fuck. Like the Gaga Pit was a lot larger than like the primary school ones. Probably like
Yeah.
that big and like high. And everyone got in, and some kids would just hit it out straight away, and they'd get out straight away. And us four, I reckon, would team up and get people out, and it'd be like
Yeah.
top four.
Or I'd wait till there were like 3 other people apart from me, and then bounce it out with the most awful shot.
Yeah, it was always you'd always just be there, and then you just bounce it. You bounce it on the ground, it just bounce straight out.
Yeah.
My plan used to just stand near the door and try to blend in, and every time someone hit it at me, I just let it go out.
Yeah, that's what me and Cal were doing. Yeah. And
Mate,
Worth
we were too good at that. Like if we were North Melbourne, we were like 14-0.
yeah.
Too good.
I think our green shirts blended in with was it thing green, the
Yeah,
water thing?
I think we went camouflage mode.
Yeah.
Good stuff. All right, 2 more questions for you boys. This one is what's next in terms of like 2021 top 3 goals. We'll start off with Will. What are your top 3 goals, mate?
It's a sort of like just enjoy this year. It's gonna get harder from here. Like year 10 is gonna be year 11, year 12. So just sort of focus on myself. Try and be happy for the year, and then next year and the year after is probably gonna be less about me and more about the grades. Another goal. Make new friends. It's a new school, new campus. You can make new friends. My class is full of people I don't really know. So yeah, my goal is definitely to, become friends with those people. And last goal would be maybe something sport related. Maybe be more of a leader at cricket. Yeah, that's about
Good stuff, mate. Wallace, what about yourself?
Yeah, relatively similar. Definitely making sure I stay kind of happy, making sure I have definitely, because I've just come back here. Making new friends is a big one. I met you guys at camp, and
Yeah, you got us, mate.
yeah, and that's
the
really
OG
cool.
friends.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, and so that's really good. That's like what I want to do. And I've got some friends at school, some people who I used to know but haven't seen for a long time. And then, so definitely new connections, new friends is a big one. And then also sport-wise, I want to keep up my running, get better, see if I can maybe make states in a couple of things eventually if I want to. Although I don't necessarily want to compete, but if I get that good, maybe I'll think about it. But definitely stay dedicated to my sessions and stuff, and then just stay socially and academically happy with myself and my life.
Good stuff, boys. And lastly, Cal, finishes off, mate.
Probably like keep my good grades.
Yeah.
Keep doing it. Maybe grow taller. I can get a bit taller, you know.
I wish that every single birthday it never happens, man.
And then probably get better at opening the batting in cricket.
Yeah. Don't get out for the duck.
I've got out for 2 this year. but 3 in my 5 years of cricket, so I'll take that.
Nah, good stuff. And lastly, you boys can ask me one question. Who wants to kick us off first?
I'll go.
Go for it.
You've probably been asked this before. I mean, you have a fair few episodes up already, but who's kind of like a podcaster you look up to? Who's someone you want to be like in your industry?
Yeah, for sure. As you know, the podcast is called Jez and Friends. A former Carlton and Giants player called Dylan Buckley. He was trash at footy, a bit good at talking, so he ended up starting a podcast. I mean, I'd say I'm decent at footy, just taking a year off for running there. Basically started a podcast to entertain a few friends during lockdown, and now it's kicked off a fair bit. We're up to 37. And yeah, that's who I look up to.
Yeah, cool.
Next.
Who's your role model? Who's your role model?
My role model. Oh shit. We'll talk about sporting. Yeah, I've got maybe 2 to 3. So probably for tennis would be Roger Federer. You boys saw me with that hat. Like, he's literally the GOAT. I don't care what anyone else says.
I think you took that hat off that much over the camp.
Yeah.
24/7.
Yeah, I think I kept it on basically the whole time. Who else? Jamie Vardy, this crazy soccer player for Leicester, the team I go for. And probably Allen Iverson, his former basketball player as well. Like, he used to hit up crazy shots, and he was only 6 foot tall, so pretty much around with Will's height, with basketball shoes. And yeah, he beat people way taller than him. Yeah. What about yourself, Cal? What's your question?
Oh, this one's probably a bit unrelated, but what's your thoughts on the European Super League soccer thing?
Yeah, you boys probably saw that on the news as well. I reckon bullshit. Yeah, when I saw that, I was kind of pissed, but it could have been good for my club, Leicester, which I go for because we're like smaller. We could have had a bigger chance to win the Premier League. But I mean, like, the guy who created the whole thing, like the manager or president of Real Madrid, he just wants money. Apparently he says 16 and 24-year-olds hate soccer and don't give a shit, but it's more for money. And I'm glad like half the clubs have already dipped, you know. Well, what's the point of this stupid league? What's it going to get you?
No, it's not going to happen anymore. No. But actually, if the Big Six had left the Premier League, Leicester would have been in first place.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean, man. So
like you said, you would have been pretty happy about that. And to be honest, this is your question, I'm sorry. But I'm not much of a big soccer fan, so it kind of just would have been interesting to see how it all unfolded, even if it like just lasted for a season.
Yeah, that is quite true. But like, imagine it went through 1 year's time. We'll see how it goes. It'll probably just be like all the rich people go there and shit. Yeah.
I kind of wanted to see it happen just to see if they'd actually kick those teams out of the Premier League. I feel like that'd be hilarious.
Yeah. That would have been amazing, and all the supporters would have to like support other teams like Leicester or something. That would have been amazing.
I was already picking which team to change to from Tottenham.
Who are you going to pick, Leicester?
Oh, Leicester or Leeds.
Oh, yeah, fair enough. Good stuff. And for the viewers who actually watch it on YouTube, most people listen to Spotify or Apple, but like, apologies for our visuals because it's all pitch black for 3 of us. Good stuff for Cal with his lighting. Apologies, I should have known better. Oh, good. Yeah, boys, pretty much that's about it. Thanks for like jumping on. It's pretty hard to get like 3 people on a podcast. I reckon we did it really well. it'll be good to see the end product. And hopefully in the future I could get like a few more people, like have multiple people on the podcast. But when's our next session for the leadership thing? Is it next Wednesday?
Do we have? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, next Wednesday. Yeah, thanks for jumping on, and I'm sure we'll create like more funny stories and shit in the coming weeks. So catch you guys later.